Welcome to the Or to Know Better podcast. I'm joined today by Adam. How are you doing, bud? And
All
we're
good,
going to
mate.
good stuff. We're going to be discussing. Obviously, this is Berardi and Coke as well. So we're going to be discussing the game yesterday. Any views or comments that you might have, send them into our YouTube channel, and we'll definitely read them out. Adam, you looking forward to this chat? It's first game in a while, and we actually, won.
I'm buzzing, mate. Delighted to be here. It's an honour.
Sound.
Again.
Sounds about. We'll catch you soon, son. Play the intro, Roisin, yeah?
Go for it, man.
How are you now? You all right?
Delighted, mate. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Sweet. I'm okay, man. Not too bad at all. Give us a look there at your cup for your tea there. I spotted it while you were drinking there. Is it a Leeds cup, is it? We'll just,
It is.
at the start, we'll just compare cups. Oh, I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
There you go.
I've gone with this bad boy from the terrace.
Oof, that is a good one.
I was nearly going to clash and wear the same jersey with the cup, but I thought, you know what I mean? Can't be doing
Too
that
much.
kind of thing. Be a bit much.
Too much.
So,
I love that. I used to love that those Puma kits were banging, weren't they? They were the best kits we've had, I reckon.
they were absolutely savage, yeah. Absolutely savage.
That light blue one we had.
Yeah, I have it there. It's in the background there somewhere. I did like the ones before we changed to the Shield when we still had the old school badge from the championship winning season. I thought that Puma kit was class when Ian Rush was playing for us and the likes. You know,
Yeah.
that was a cool
Lee
kit.
Sharp.
Lee Sharp. Yeah. Actually, when I was younger, I did his celebration whenever I scored. Went over
So did I.
ragging the old corner flag.
Yeah. He did another one anyway. At least to like do a little dance or something.
Oh, on his knees or something like that.
Yeah. What a guy! What a player! We should try and get him on the pod. I don't know.
He's still in Leeds, isn't he?
I don't know what he's
I think
doing.
he still lives in Leeds.
But he knocks about with Lee Chapman a bit, doesn't he?
Does he? Oh, right. Well, sure, maybe we'll try and get him on board and see what the crack is. He might have some interesting stories, you know. So what we'll do is we'll get into the game that we're here to talk about. Now the result itself, I'm quite happy about. Convincing enough performance, I think, against what we've come to expect as a shocking Burnley side. Give us your thoughts on the game, Adam. You watched it from home, man, so there might have been bits that I missed while at it, like that you may have picked up on.
Yeah. No, I thought. Excuse me. I thought it was a solid performance. It was best. I think for me, it was best performance of the season. I don't know if that's because we played well or whether because Burnley are pretty terrible. I don't know why Burnley are so terrible because they've not. It's the same team as they had pretty much last season. So, but yeah, I thought it was solid. I thought there was a little bit in the second half. I'd say 10-15 minutes where we completely lost control of midfield and completely lost control of the game, which for me was a worry. But all in all, I thought it was a pretty solid performance. Some good standout performances. Good to see certain people playing well. Who
are you happy to see certain people playing well? Elaborate on that a bit.
I thought Firpo had his best game in the Leeds shirt. I thought he looked like he'd once played for Barcelona for the first time. I thought Clicky played well. I don't think he had a great game, but I thought he played well. I thought Roberts. I know he missed a proper chance when Ayling whipped ball in and he should have scored, and he had a couple of chances. But I thought he was solid. He looks composed. He looks calm. He drops too deep for my liking, but he didn't do anything wrong. And 4 shows immense. And I've got to make another public apology on this because I've said I think Robin Koch isn't the best. Yesterday I thought he was man of the match for me. I don't think he put a foot wrong. I didn't see him do anything right. I didn't see him do anything wrong, which to me makes him stand out as he was just solid and consistent for the full 90 minutes. So yeah, I thought it was a really good, strong performance.
Yeah, I thought just going back to Firpo, I thought without doubt that was one of his best games of the season, without a shadow of a doubt. But when you look at the team, the way we lined up, he was actually playing in a back four with two centre backs in their positions and a right back in his position and him in his position. Do you think had that a positive effect on how he performed?
I think so. I think. I mean, I put a tweet out during the game. I said, Ayling whips in a great ball, and fuck me, look what happens when Ayling plays in his natural position.
Yeah.
And I think as much as we love the fluidity of how we play, there's only certain players who can really pull it off and move from position to position. I think they need that consistency. And I think Firpo being told you're playing left back, do what you do. Maybe that had a positive effect. I don't know. It might be just being because Burnley were wank and he could control the game a bit more. But yeah, maybe it does.
I did hear a few people kind of worried that he was coming up against Aaron Lennon, even though Aaron Lennon's not been the same Aaron Lennon for a long time. But there was always that. I think there might have been just that fear that Firpo hasn't performed to the standard that we expect, and someone, even though he's knocking on a bit, Aaron Lennon can still run at pace at people, and he can still put a ball past you and beat you for pace. But I thought the back four yesterday were solid as a rock. I thought Koch absolutely dominated Chris Wood for large portions of that game. Didn't really give him a sniff in anything. Like, he had maybe one or two shots in the first half that kind of just sailed over the bar, and there was that good effort where Meslier made a great save at his feet quite close in the 6-yard box.
Yeah.
But apart from that, Wood didn't have a sniff. It was like when we played Leicester and we set a little deeper. Vardy didn't have one shot on goal, didn't have one effort.
Yeah.
And maybe, people saying Bielsa doesn't have a plan B. Maybe plan B for Bielsa is sitting back a bit and not getting caught the way we did last season. Maybe that, he sacrifices space further up the pitch, which in his eyes and his mind, I'd imagine, is essentially a plan B, because he's sacrificing the way he wants to play to help a different part of the system. So, these things, they come together. But I thought that back four, if we can keep that back four fit and just get one or two players in, maybe in the January window and players back fit, I don't see anybody. I don't see any need to be worrying about anyone below us. Like,
absolutely
not at all.
No, I think the only. I mean, yeah, they were good yesterday. The back four were pretty decent. The only one thing I will, and I'll keep saying it, and I'll say it every fucking week, and people will start to see it eventually, is that Mellier's distribution is fucking dog shit. Like,
it is this year.
I can't be arsed saying it. Like I say it every week. It's wank. We submit possession so many times from Mellier, his distribution out, and it's every week he goes wide to Raf, or he tries to go to Harrison. I know that they're class, but he's 5 yards off every time. It's 5 yards out at the park. But there you go. If that's all I've got to complain about, it's a good game, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, I think with, like you said, you make a great point, and you do say it a lot, like. But I don't know who I was talking to recently, and they were saying, do you think his distribution gotten a little worse because he hasn't actually got someone putting pressure on him to take his spot, and he might be just being a little lackadaisy about it, or like, because I noticed yesterday he was using the left and right backs quite a bit rather than going long.
Yeah.
And we've only been using the wings recently in terms of playing it wide. Not so much, but like, we were all about the back four building the play last year, Just maybe some things have changed because teams are pressing us more.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. Yeah, teams are probably wise to it, aren't they? But yeah, whatever it is, he needs to switch it up a bit because it's predictable. And
I think he has a lot more attributes in his favour than he doesn't. You know what I mean? So I think that if his distribution is the only thing we can pick out to criticise him about, you can't really argue with that. Like,
No, 100%. And I said, I remember us, on one of the main pods, you know, in the infancy of us doing the podcast, you know, we were saying that Meslier is the most important player for the next 10 years of this squad. You know, Raf, we can find another tricky winger. We can find enough, you know, you probably find another Calvin, to be fair. Like, but goalkeepers, you know, you look at the money that goalkeepers go for at this young age, it's because they're a fucking 10, 15 year investment.
Yeah.
You know, Calvin's at his peak now, probably going to come in for the next 5 years at his absolute limit. Raf will be entering his peak period, but their peak periods are short, 3-4 years. Whereas Meslier could, you know, you look at goalkeepers, they play on till fucking 40. We could have Meslier for 20 years. We're not gonna, but we could technically. So he's the most important piece to that jigsaw. And if all we can whinge about is his goal kicks are a bit shit, then I'm down with that. Like,
it's a small price to pay as long as we regain possession. With that in mind, I was chatting to one of the lads yesterday. Do you think maybe we should start playing for the second ball if his distribution isn't going to be as good? Like, you know, where, like, I noticed last season and the season in the Championship, even when we did go long, we didn't necessarily challenge straight away for the header. We make it difficult for the person winning the header, but we were always, you notice there was always maybe 2 or 3 players around waiting for the drop of the second ball. Maybe from Meslier kickouts, maybe we should start looking into getting that back again, because that's where we turned over a lot of possession last year and the year in the Championship when we went up. So
that's a good point.
Could be something to maybe look into. You mentioned Click was quite good there earlier on.
I did.
How far off his best do you think he is? Because he was good yesterday. He was good yesterday.
Yeah, the stats don't lie. I think he didn't create like 7 chances or something ridiculous. What was good yesterday for me was that he looked. I don't think he's at his best. I don't think he's particularly anywhere near his best. But he's one of those players that you don't really. I don't really know what his best is, because he makes it look effortless. Like, he doesn't. You don't look at him and go, "Fuck me, he's busting his ass off. He's sprinting around. He's fighting the challenges." He's just an incredibly tidy player. So everything he does goes under the radar. If he has a shit game, it's only because we're looking at it and we're specifically watching him, and you go, "Well, what has he done? Like, has he created stuff?" But he probably plays like that every single game. It's just that we've got to win yesterday rather than. That's pretty much it, I think.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think we know what his best is. I don't think he does, because he's just such a seamless player. He keeps everything flowing, and so I don't really know what the answer to that is, mate. If I'm honest, I just thought he was just Click. He just does what he does, and sometimes for unknown reasons, people give him pelters on Twitter, and for some reason, yesterday everybody loves him on Twitter. It's just fucking.
Well, that's the thing.
Bullshit, isn't it?
You look at it. When we played our last game, or was it the last game, and he got absolutely slated online, and you're like, Jesus Christ, lads, come on! This guy, he got us promoted. Like, fucking, he hasn't had. Like, he played every game up until Derby away in the Championship. The only reason he didn't play was because he was fucking hung over. All right, give the man a break. He deserves our respect, if I'm being perfectly honest. For people to be slagging him off because of performance, like, I guarantee you, if you check his stats game by game that he's played, his stats are probably sound. You know what I mean? And people don't look at that. They just look at, like, I look at Click, and I think he just glides around the pitch effortlessly. And even though I think he's a good link up between Calvin, the midfield, and the front 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And he does just glide around the pitch looking for them little 1-2 quick passes to get the play moving. And I think people don't see that enough, because I don't know, maybe they're just blinkered by, we were shit, so it's Click's fault and blah blah blah. You're like, come on, lads, there's 11 other players on the pitch. Or 10 other players.
10, yeah. I just think, and I say this, like, I just think social media, especially Leeds fans, like, let's be honest, 95% of Leeds fans on social media are fucking idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. Like, they're just
You're insulting our viewership here now, you know.
Honestly, I'll say it to the. I'll keep saying it. I'll say it to your faces in the pubs as well, because you're all fucking. A lot of you talk bollocks and don't know anything about football. Never kicked a ball in your life, so shush. But that's how it is. Like everybody has a fucking opinion, but unless you've played football at a reasonable level, like we're in no position to fucking say Click's had a shit game, Roberts is wank.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm saying, you know, I've said I'm guilty of it, saying Llorente is fucking an absolute car crash waiting to happen. But I played at a decent level, so I can say he's a car crash waiting to happen. And as a centre midfielder, like I played centre mid. So if I look back and think, oh fuck, I've lost the ball here, do I have ultimate confidence in Llorente not to do anything rash and stupid? No. Would I fuck? Like it would. I would second guess myself. I wouldn't want to give the ball away because I think Llorente is going to fuck it up. Simple, like, you know, and that's my opinion based upon like real life experience. But I think a lot of people on social media are quick to scapegoat and jump on the bandwagon. And if somebody says, you know, sort of like, you know, a very good friend of ours, you know, if Rex, for example, right, turned around and said Luke Ayling's wank, that would get some traction, and within the next 3 games, we'd see a load of people saying Luke Ayling's wank. That's just how social media is. It's just fucking idiots. So if you're slagging players on social media,
don't at them. Don't be a knob.
Just
don't at them.
Get
human beings at the end of the fucking day, like.
Yeah, put your boots on. Get your sin down Thorpe Arch and try and impress Marcelo Bielsa. If you have that opinion, fucking get down there and do a better job. Until then, shut up, you cunts.
It's a daytime show.
It's after midday somewhere.
I don't think that counts as the watershed.
Sorry, lads.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. We can play. Oh no, we can't. It's fucking live. So look, I think the overall feeling with Click is that he did play well, and potentially, if he carries on like that, then he's going to be okay. I think, you know, the fans are not going to get on his back about it too much. I don't think, if he carries on like that. But again, it's a team game. Can't expect one player to just magically make it all happen. Like,
no, and before anybody watching this tries to at me or something, I put a reply to somebody's tweet yesterday. I said somebody put something in like, what, our midfield is non-existent at the moment or something. And I said it's non-existent when Click seems to be playing at the moment. I thought the first 25 minutes Click weren't in the game, so I am going to put my hands up on that before any fucker finds that tweet.
Someone's looking for that right now.
Retweet it, do what you want. But I did think he was in the game, and then he grew into it. We grew into it. Our midfield looked more solid, and I think that came from the back 5 as it started out, went to a back 4. Dallas came into midfield a little bit more and gave Click that free role. If you look how many times Click moved into a wide right or a wide left, he moves centrally into the channels, and that's where he puts his balls, and that's where he's most dangerous because people don't pick him up. But he can't do that when Dallas isn't around, and because he hasn't got that freedom to move, because he has to be so central. So I think that made a massive part, and that's why the first 25 minutes I said Click was murdering our midfield, and then when we got more shape, he was able to excel.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with not having Calvin behind him as well, you know, and the fact that our back line hasn't been consistent all season. Like the first 10 games of the season, we were able to play at the same back 4 twice, you know what I mean, and that wasn't even in a row. And so you kind of look at that. Like, I saw someone put up a tweet today about the Bielsa hug, but we'll get into that in a minute, and I'll discuss that. But they basically said that the hug says 1,000 words because it looks like he feels it, and they reckoned that's the reason they think he'll stay next season, because he's had such a tough run of it this year with injuries and everything after building something special last season. Let's be honest, it was. So they reckon that he might actually stay on next season. I don't know, unless they've got someone of the same caliber lined up. I could see him staying for another year. I could see him staying for another year just to kind of give it another rattle, because, you know, if he can keep a squad fit and add a couple more players to it, then sky's the limit then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. I personally don't see him staying next year.
Do you not?
No. No.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we've been incredibly spoiled to have him as long as we've had him. So, you know, if he does leave at the end of the season, he should leave with everybody's blessings. And I think it's shown again. I don't want to keep going back to it, but you see some of the shite that gets put on. You know, I saw somebody tweet yesterday like, "Oh, if we don't win this today, then serious questions have got to be asked in the boardroom." What questions? What questions are possibly going to be asked in the boardroom other than Marcelo? Who do we sign? So anybody like, do you know what I mean? Fucking, that's what I mean.
Questions need to be
I'm
asked.
gonna,
It's like,
honestly,
come on,
I can't do
wind
it.
your neck in, like, you know what I mean?
But
Look what
it
the
was, I
man
mean,
has. Yeah, but look what the man has done for the club. Like, he's completely changed the attitude of the club from top to bottom.
listen,
Everything about us is we're elite. Like, you know what I mean? It's anyway.
people have
Look,
short memories, mate.
yeah. Well, you know that's the way it goes. Like, Stuart Dallas, you mentioned him there a few minutes ago.
What man?
Absolutely fucking crackers again yesterday. I thought, Jesus Christ, is there anything this man can't do? And again, showed us there isn't anything he can't do.
What a guy!
He was
250th
unbelievable.
appearance, wasn't it?
And a goal. There's a list of players that scored on the 250th appearance. Billy Bremner, John Charles, and he's on that list as well now. That's an esteemed list to be on. You know,
don't get much bigger, do you?
No, well, let's be honest, man. If you're on any list with the likes of them, you're absolutely doing something right. Like, so, I just want to say a big up to Stewie Dallas there again.
Yeah.
Keep that going, man. And I know you probably don't even watch this wank, but you know, hopefully you do at some point and you get to see it. Yeah. But yeah, look, keep doing what you're doing, Stewie. We've got a comment here. We'll read it out. It was there. All right.
Morning, Luke.
All right, Luke Thompson, how are you doing, man? So I can't wait to see Gelhardt scare more defences in the future. That lad will be some player. Honestly, the buzz inside Ellen Road yesterday when he was warming up, Jesus Christ, it was like the second coming or something like that. You know what I mean? But if you can bring a young player on like that, that's in the academy. I know he developed a lot before we got a hold of him, but to bring a lad like that on and to get that reaction, the place went absolutely bonkers. And
he could have bagged a couple yesterday. To be fair, I think the pitch was really, really fucking slippery yesterday. It was one thing I noticed. There were a lot of players in key moments, falling. I thought it was class yesterday. He absolutely terrifies people. It really does. And I know there's been comparisons to many players, but he's just the second coming of Wayne Rooney, and he is. And I hate that because he played for Scum. But listen, if he can have a fucking career like Rooney had and score as many goals for us as Rooney did for Scum and many assists, then I'll take it. I'll take the comparisons. Thought it was brilliant. For me, he offers something very, very different. And I think there's a lot of people saying, why didn't he start instead of Roberts? And the reason I think he doesn't start for Roberts is the fact that Roberts offers something. Roberts offers us a lot more control. Gelhardt comes on and terrifies everybody. Like Roberts is very much more composed. He's a bit like Click in the fact that he's very smooth. He links the play. He doesn't really surrender possession too much. I know he can do. He's sometimes he's a little bit fucking weird with his passing. But if you saw yesterday, Roberts made a lot of interceptions from the back from Burnley's back line. He puts that pressure on, whereas Gelhardt is more terrorised and just fucking absolute. He's like a toddler. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like winding up a kid with E numbers and fucking sending him out to just get shit out of people. Whereas Roberts is more composed, and that's why Roberts starts, because we want to control the game from the off, whereas Gelhardt wants to just terrify everybody.
With that in mind, Roberts, we don't know the extent of the injury that he went off with yesterday. With the cup game on Sunday, do you start Gelhardt?
100%. Yeah, 100%. It's a cup game. I listen. The FA Cup's wank anyway. Like I am bothered. If we're not going to win it, I don't care. You could put out the under 18s if you want. I'm not asked at all. About the FA Cup, unless we've got a squad that's capable of beating the likes of City, Chelsea, I fucking asked about it. Play the kids. Fuck it.
And
Play Somerville as well.
another thing about the game next week, we won't get into it too much, but we don't know how. Like Bamford made claims that he was ticking all the boxes and he's pretty much ready.
Mm-hmm.
With my other question, do you start Gelhardt in the cup? How do you work the Bamford thing if you want to give him minutes? Do you bring him on towards the end and start Gelhardt and give him 20 minutes, half an hour? You do need your number one striker getting minutes. So how do you work that out? Like, as much as we want to see Gelhardt start, Bamford needs the minutes. Like,
that's why Bielsa's paid the big bucks and we're not, mate. Fuck knows, mate. I think.
What would you do?
Yeah.
If you were in that position, what would you do? Like, your main number one striker needs minutes, but you've got this young kid who's absolutely smashing it. Like, what do you do? Like,
I would play Bamford 60 minutes if possible in the under 23 leagues. It's shit. It means nothing. And give him 60 minutes there, and then bring him on for the final 15-20 at West Ham, and give Joffrey 70 minutes. But it just depends, like, because it's counterproductive, isn't it? If we put out a proper weak team against West Ham and we're going to get pumped, like, you might as well just stick Bamford up top and play him with a load of kids, because we're going to get fucking pumped anyway. Like, at least he'll run about and get fit.
Yeah,
like, he ain't gonna get much of the ball, but at least he's going to run about. So
he'll get the miles up on that vest he has to wear, isn't it?
Exactly that. Do you know what I mean? So it is what it is. But personally, I think I asked about the cup. So if it's about giving certain players minutes to get fit, then I'm all for it.
Right. Just going back to the game itself, I know we've kind of digressed a little bit, but obviously we're taking questions, so it's all good and it's all the same direction. But yesterday I noticed Wood, Tarkovsky, and me. How were any of those? I'm going up for a header, but get the fuck out of my way. Not fouls. Every single time they went up for a header, it was a bump to knock someone over. How was the ref not picked up on any of that? I'll get into the ref in a minute, but what the fuck is he doing there? Like, is he just playing the fucking percentages and saying, "Oh, I'll sort it out next time," or what the fuck is he doing? Like,
fuck knows. Yeah, I thought referee were poor, to be fair.
Yeah.
But that's how Burnley play. That's how football used to be. We all say Sean Dyche is a bit of a throwback with the way he plays 4-4-2, eats gravel for breakfast, all that sort of bollocks. But it's they're big physical centre backs, and Chris Wood is a big physical centre forward. And when he played for us, he was exactly the same, and he was doing the same to opposition defenders. Part and parcel of the game, isn't it? Everyone's got a different way, a different style. But I thought.
But a foul's a foul, like.
Well, yeah, but yeah, you just got to fucking take it out. You're like nothing came of it. If what annoyed me was Llorente gets booked for a fucking nonsense challenge when to me Tarkovsky should have been off, and there was I don't know if you'd have seen it, like obviously you'd have seen it, but I obviously watching from home, I had the replays and stuff, and there was it was towards end of the game, and Joffrey has dicked Tarkovsky on the left hand side. The referee gives a foul against Joffrey, but you see Tarkovsky's gone down. Joffrey skipped past him. The foul's been given, but he pulls Joffrey back on. It's like that was a second booking. Tarkovsky should have been off, and he didn't give it. So yeah, they're fucking they're pros out there. They're old fashioned English centre forwards, centre backs. That you know what you're gonna get. Referees should be wise to it, but they want to give the game the chance to go as well. So
yeah. The officiating has been a fucking serious talking point all season, considering they've got VAR and they've got everything else, and you're like, we're not asking you to do a lot, lads. Just get it fucking right.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, mate. It's fucking nonsense, isn't it? But but I there was a few niggly little fouls that weren't given, but in the you know what you're gonna get against Burnley. I mean, that team like that, so you can't moan too much.
I thought I'm going to moan a little bit more just about the ref, even though you just said don't moan. can't moan too much. We were coming out from the back, and I think it was Llorente that got absolutely nailed in the kind of right back position,
Yeah,
and the referee played advantage. Now we had one pass of advantage which was intercepted. Why hasn't he called play back, given us the free, and booked? I think it was Tarkovsky or someone else. I don't know who it was. But when we got when he played on, there was a foul outside their box, and he then booked a player, but there was no advantage.
it was Tarkovsky.
This is the inconsistency that is fucking driving fans mental, and it needs to be sorted out. Like you can't, you can't play advantage. We get one pass, which is then intercepted, and carry on playing when there's a clear and obvious foul that you need to book and pull the foul back for. And he admitted it was a serious foul because he then went and booked the fucking player. Why not drag it all the way back and give us a free kick then? There was no advantage.
No, but they can't. I suppose playing devil's advocate here, they can't. They can't just go, oh well, that was a good pass, so you've had your advantage. Like we've played the pass, we've chosen to move on. Like it's not the referee's fault that our pass was intercepted and the pass was shit. But you're right, it should have been brought back to the origin of the foul. But yeah, it's just inconsistent and it's just shit at the moment. And I think VAR's fucked it for everybody. Mate. I think referees now are over reliant on somebody in the control room going, oh yeah, you missed that, and they're not making them decisions. They should make the decision, and if it's the wrong decision, the fucking pitch side ref or whoever the fuck else is doing this anymore, they should be the ones who are going, actually no, you made that, and they go, right, sorry, fucking bring it back. They should be the ones making the on-field decision instantly and being told if they've made the wrong decision. It shouldn't be play on and let's fucking VAR look at it. They should still control the game. They should do it like they were doing 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and then if they made a mistake, a clear and obvious mistake, VAR gets involved. But at the moment, it's like they're just letting things fucking go because they're second guessing each other, and then VAR going, "Oh, no, you missed that one, mate." And then they go, "Oh, let me look at the screen. Okay, it's all about me. Now I look like a dick."
Yeah,
that's it.
So now I have to give it.
Now, yeah. So it's all shit.
From a fan's perspective, like I think I might have mentioned it to you the last time we did Berardi and Coke. Why not bring in a league of foreign refs who have no allegiance to anyone, who seem to be better than what the hell is in this country at the moment? Like we've heard Jimmy go on and say, like, Mike Dean he's just the biggest, I'm the center of attention wanker on the planet. You don't need refs like that. I'm sorry if he's kind of like, oh, you nutmeg me there, and being all pally with them. Fuck off. All pally with them. You've no allegiance to anyone. Get the fucking shit together and sort your head out. Ref the game to a level that needs to be refed at, or fuck off.
Do you know what I think the worst thing at the moment is? Nah, go mental, mate. Do you know what I think the worst thing is fucking the media giving referees some kind of celebrity status. I think it's BT. They have fucking, I can't remember his name now.
Dermot Gallagher or someone like that in the studio. Or that's
Ref Watch.
Geordie dude. What's that Geordie dude? Mark Clattenburg.
Clattenburg, yeah. There's others, isn't there? There's BT Sport. They have them when they have, like they do their version of Soccer Saturday. They have like John Hartson or some other fucking idiot, and they have a referee and they keep going to him and they make it about him. And I think, what are you fucking doing? Why are we giving referees this platform to say that other referees are shit? Or, oh yeah, that referee made a right decision. Or, who gives a fuck about your opinion? Like, why are we giving these referees a fucking celebrity status? Like, the referee status and the celebrity status was Kalina. He was the main fucking referee, and the reason he got celebrity status and the reason everybody loved him is because he did his fucking job properly. He didn't sit there on a couch saying, "Oh yeah, well that referee's made a terrible decision," or "That was really good." If you look at it 14 times on VAR, he should have got that right. Fuck off, mate. The referees should do their job straight away, and then you get respect. Until then, why are we fucking putting them on TV? Like,
well, the thing is, right, with that in mind, where you're saying that they're giving these refs celebrity status. If these refs are going to get this kind of publicity and all this kind of, get the fuck in front of a camera after 90 minutes and explain your decisions. If you
100%.
want this fucking superstardom of being a professional referee, get on camera, tell us why you made the decisions. Shut your mouth or fuck off.
We should
Simple as that.
VAR then. We should VAR then
Yeah.
afterwards. Go right. You missed.
Yeah.
Look at this now. Why is that not a foul?
Break
You
it
can clearly
down.
see it's a foul. Yeah, fucking tell us then, dickhead.
Sit there, use the
Be
VAR that are
accountable.
showing you what to do, and explain your decision there, because
Yeah.
they've no culpability in any of the decisions that they make. None. It doesn't affect them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like they're clearly not getting relegated for shite decisions to like the Championship and League One, because the same stupid refs are still doing the same fucking stupid thing on a Saturday.
Correct.
We have a message here from Ziggy Thompson. I believe Newcastle will buy their way out of relegation, so can only see us finishing ahead of Watford, Burnley and Norwich. Can you see any other scenarios? Honestly, I don't think Newcastle are going to buy their way out of this. I genuinely, that they're not, in my opinion, no, Ziggy, I'm not, taking apart yours. It's a good point, but I don't think that they're going to be able to attract the players to get them out of the mess that they're in. It's hard enough bringing players to Newcastle where it is without being in a relegation battle and having 190 million to spend in January. You're not going to acquire players that are. They're not going to acquire players that are. They're going to get their hands dirty in a relegation battle. They're not the type
100%.
of players that they'll be attracting with the money they have.
Yeah, I also think there's other teams that are going to get dragged into the relegation. I think we're going to pull away, if I'm honest. And I think other teams are going to get dragged in. I think Brentford are banging trouble. I know they got a win yesterday. I think they're really going to fucking struggle. Another couple of key injuries and they're fucked. I think Everton, unless they make I hope they don't, because I like Benitez, mate. I think he's a good man and he's a good manager and he's won a lot at the top level. But something fundamentally wrong at Everton. I think they could get dragged into this. You're right. I don't think Newcastle are going to attract the type of players that they need, because they need a full fucking 11. Other than Alan Saint-Maximin, the rest of that squad is dog shit.
Almiron, if he can get his shit together, he's good. But again, he's had 3 years and he hasn't got his shit together. But that could be management. It could be anything. You know what I mean?
He's wank. He's too lightweight. And he gets banged around too much. But I think the thing with Newcastle is the players that they get in are going to be the type of players that they've had before, like the Ben Arthurs, the Denver Bars, who are absolute fucking mercenaries. And I think they might get a couple of good players come in, but it's not going to be enough. Yeah. I think there's something fundamentally wrong with that club, and like Everton, these are big clubs where the decisions at board level have been piss poor for a number of years, and they're going to feel it. But Newcastle folks.
Yeah, well, Lee has just said there Newcastle will go down. I think they're beyond help even with all the money in the world. I think you're right, Lee. But then Jay has, Luke, excuse me. But then Jay has come in. With Trippier deal sounds close to being done for Newcastle. I don't think that's going to help them in any way at all, if I'm being perfect.
He's a bang average fullback, man. I don't know what the loving for Trippier is. He's fucking shit. I honestly, other than a fucking free kick he scored for England against Croatia, what has he done? I don't understand the loving for him. He was wank. I remember seeing him at Burnley a number of years ago against Leeds on New Year's. He got sent off. He got absolutely ragged by fucking Lloyd Sam. He's utter dog shit. I don't understand why people like Scum were looking at him and City were looking at him. I thought, what are you doing? He's utter dog shit. But he was
the quintessential. I had a great World Cup. I'm going to be on the list like Karol Poborski now and get fucking touted around everywhere, and it'll be like, well, I'm shit. But
he's got a great agent. That's all it is. He's got a good agent. He's
fucking really has, hasn't he?
Honestly, fucking unbelievable. I don't get it. Thank you, Smart. I think he's bollocks. And I think even that's that. But that going back to Ziggy's point, that's the sort of player that Newcastle are going to bring in. They're going to bring in players who have got some reputation, and that's going to try and lift the fans. I get all that, but ultimately they're not good enough. If you're looking at Trippier to save your back four, then you are seriously banging trouble.
You really are. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's Jay saying there? Actually needs centre backs, not full backs. So it's weird one anyway. Rumours of Chelsea trying to snatch him. That would be funny as fuck, to be honest.
Chelsea
I
need a fullback though because Chilwell's dead, isn't he? Like Chilwell's not going to play this season,
he,
so they need a left back.
he's not been anywhere close to the form that he showed last year, or when he was with Leicester, for that matter. Like, but I'd look, sure, Newcastle, they're going to just spend stupid money, try and buy the way out of trouble. But like we were saying, I don't think that's going to happen. I think there's 4 teams worse than us at the moment. And I think personally, I said to a couple of the lads I go to games with yesterday, I was like, getting to 19 points psychologically for us was massive, I think. Just, because that opens, what is it now, a 7-point gap between
8
us and
points.
8 point between us and the
8
relegation
points,
zone. That's up there. That's massive. Massive.
Yeah.
Like, it was like when we
Remember-
got to 26 points last season, we were all like, thank fuck for that,
Fuck
you know?
for that.
But
Yeah.
getting to 19 this season with the injuries we've had and stuff like that, I think that was just psychologically that's a boost that we needed, I think, yesterday.
Yeah. Remember Burnley have got 2 games in hand though, so it could only be 2 points.
Yeah, but they still have to win those games. Games in hand aren't worth shite if you don't win them. Like, so,
No, of course.
and we've not seen anything yesterday that will tell us that they're going to win. Who are their 2 games in hand against? I think one of them is Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool,
You know what I mean? It's like, fuck,
still
like,
not win them.
yeah.
It's gonna be an interesting January. I think it's gonna be. I think Newcastle are gonna be good for football because they are just gonna ruffle so many feathers because they're gonna go mental and try and sign everybody, and like fuck. I think it's just gonna unsettle players, and I think that we're gonna see a lot of movement. I think it's gonna move a lot of players around. So I can see that players like Ross Barkley going to Newcastle, Ramsey, Barkley, like bang average players. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind Ross Barkley at us, again. As long as we played him in the right position.
Now we've got Tongy and Brown. I'd have. I said this time and time again. I'd have Loftus-Cheek if we're going to get anyone from Chelsea who's out of favour a little bit. I'd have Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He's an upgrade on what we've got.
You've been flying his flag a bit lately, haven't you? What do you think he would add to the team? Like,
he's just a very, very. He's physically strong. He's really, really technically gifted. Like, I just think he'd be an upgrade on Click. But he can play across any of them positions in midfield, and I think he'd just be a really, really strong fit. If you look at him when he played for England, he ended up on the right wing, he ended up on the left wing. He moves in from he moved out to the flanks from central positions, a bit like what Click does. So I'd have him all day long, absolutely. And when we played Chelsea, he played and he put some really, really dangerous balls in the box. He's good around the edge of the area. If I was looking for a midfielder, I wouldn't be going to Cagliari, should I say, for the Uruguayan lad. I'd be going fucking. Let's get Loftus-Cheek in.
So you go Loftus-Cheek over Nendez, yeah?
100%.
All right, okay, that's fair enough. Jay has put something in. Apparently, Wolves are ready to listen to offers for Adam's mate. Now, for anyone that is new to the podcast, Adam loves Adam Traore. I'm not sure if it's a namesake thing or whatever, but if you're new, Adam absolutely really wants to, baby oil the shit out of Adam Traore. So I genuinely don't think we will go anywhere near him, if I'm being honest, because it'd just be like we sold Sacco because he couldn't, for Sacco or whatever, Haiti Sacco, because he couldn't fucking do anything. It's the same bleeding thing here, man.
It's not.
It's exactly the same thing. Like,
listen, the amount of people that I say this to, right?
And they all think you're fucking nuts because they're all in the groups that I'm in with you.
I fly this flag all the time, mate. And I say, like, do you know what I think we need? And they go, who? And I say, Adam Traore. And they go, you're a fucking idiot. And I say, no, hear me out. Play him up top, yeah? And fucking use him as a battering ram. He could be like a Mikel Antonio if he's managed right. I know he's got stamina issues, but so is Antonio. Like, I'm telling you.
Twice the player that fucking Traore is, Adam.
That's because, fucking Antonio. Antonio started off as when fucking Antonio was at Chef Wednesday, what position did he play?
Yeah, okay.
right? He was a right back, and then he went to right wing, and then they put him up top. I am telling you now, Liverpool are looking at Traore. Barcelona are looking at Traore. There's reasons people want him. He's just not being managed properly. I swear to God, put him up top and he'd be a fucking dynamite. And when this happens, and when he goes to another club, I honestly want a public apology from all you fuckers.
I can't
It's going to happen
when you say stupid shit like that.
It's going to happen. I'm telling you. He's going to be honestly. He's going to be fucking fast.
Oh, fair enough, man. I'll take your word for it, Adam, man. But I genuinely can't see it myself. We've kind of digressed there from the match talk to a bit of transfer talk there, but just overall, I was, back to the match. I was really happy about yesterday's performance. I thought Raf was fucking seriously unlucky with that little dink to try and lob the keeper. Man, if that went in, huh?
Yeah, other than that, he did fuck off. I thought that was his worst game.
I didn't think he was very much up to the standard that we're used to be fair, but not, he wasn't shit, like, he just what we're used to, but I think it was shit.
Maybe I'm being harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he did much. He missed an absolute sitter as well, like. But I thought,
Jesus, how has he fucking missed that? Like,
I don't know.
Of all the people you'd want in that position, he is the one person you would want in that position. Like, but can't score them all, man. Can't,
There you go.
Maybe he's doing it to kind of go, lads, get your shit together here a little bit,
Yeah. Well, I was happy for Dan James. I thought I was the smallest player on the pitch, winning head against one of their big physical defenders. I thought, it was nice.
It was nice, wasn't it? I thought he got a good reception when he came on as well. Like,
yeah. And I think man of the match really yesterday was Wayne Hennessy because he was fucking terrible, wasn't he? He was so.
The little historian himself, huh?
Yeah.
Or lack of history from himself, to be fair. What a bell end. But yeah, so look, we'll wrap it up there, Adam. Thanks for joining us, and appreciate all the comments from everyone popping in. It was a good old chat about the game. Now, if we've got I'm sure we've got a main pod coming up soon as well, and we've got all sorts coming up. Chances are, we'll probably be on it. Oh, hold on. Actually, he shines. Oh, what is everyone? All right. Okay. Hold on. This is just before we go. I'm assuming this is in relation to Raf. So maybe when the team isn't playing well, he does shine more so. But if the team is playing well around him, then it takes the pressure off him, and maybe that's where that lackluster performance kind of came from, perhaps.
Do you know what? If he's gonna, I'd rather he plays wank for the whole of January until the transfer window closes, and then he kicks on again in February. Like, if he wants to play like a knobhead for the next 4 games, be my guest. Like, no problem for me.
All right. Yeah.
So cheers for that comment, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's. I think we're going to be all right in the transfer window. We won't lose any players, but it's just worrying who the hell we're going to bring in.
We don't need to bring anyone in. Just get the players back like we just get people back fit.
Look.
I'm sick of seeing people say, spend some money, spend some money.
No. I'm not saying spend loads of money. I'm saying, get the players back. But we always say we've got a thin squad, even when we've got a first 11 and all our players back. So maybe 1 or 2 additions might not kill us.
You know what? You look at that. You look at it, right? Who have we got? Who are we missing? Strike, Bamford, Cooper, Phillips.
Yeah.
And who else?
Rodrigo.
Right, that's 5. And we put out. And
they're 5 starting players, though.
Right.
They're 5 starting players. So when you put them in, who do you take out then? Because you've only got James, you've got Harrison. You're not dropping Rafinha. You're not, dropping Click if Phillips comes back in. Fawshaw's handling it. Dallas is there. Like, we don't have a massive bench. Like.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that, but those 5 players. So we had 12 what I would class as first teamers yesterday. We had a full strength, like a good. We didn't have to play kids yesterday on the 11. And then on the bench we had Dan James as a senior player, and Gellart you can class now as a senior player. You add in them 5, that's a squad of 18 senior players. Where's this fucking nonsense about us having, needing to strengthen everywhere? Where's it come from? We've been fucked by injuries.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, but we've got Phillips out until...
Yeah, we can't have a
Phillips
squad
is
of
out
30
till
fucking
March.
first team players.
But we're not looking at 30 first team players. We're looking at maybe
Well,
adding
that's
two more to make it 20. You know?
But you can only have a squad of 18.
Match day,
So-
match day squad
so
of
we have
18. A match day
we have
squad, not an actual squad. So
Yeah, of course.
we can take like 5 of the kids off the bench that we had on yesterday.
Yeah,
And
but
put
we
them
could do
on.
that when the players are back from injury. I've just named 5 players that are injured.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but then we don't have the strength and depth if anything happens to anyone else. We've like those 5 players. If they get injured, what are we back to? Fucking kids. Are you okay with that?
I'd rather have that than.
Have you seen enough from the kids in the senior appearances to basically go, yeah, we're okay with a squad of 18 when everyone's fit?
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking what over like Somerville, Creswell.
I'm not saying
when he comes through, Kenner. Yeah, fine. Jenkins, no problem. McCarron.
I think they're all capable, but I don't think they've got enough senior experience to be backing up the first starting 11 on a bench. I think we just need like Click was the oldest player down in Spurs, 10 years older than the next fucking player. Like that says it.
He's scary, but this
I'm not
whole
panicking
narrative,
and saying we have to bring everyone in. I'm just
it's a difficult one, isn't it? But you don't want to end up with a massive squad where you've just got players like look at Liverpool for example, massive squad, and they're bringing a player like Oxlade-Chamberlain. You go, fuck me, I forgot he still played. Like you can't because what happens is you get players who are on big money because they expect to be part of a first team squad. They're on decent money. They either want to be playing and they start bitching and moaning that they're not playing, or they couldn't give a fuck and they're just there for the money. So I'd rather have young hungry kids in the wings rather than 2 or 3 senior pros who are either there for the money or there to cause trouble because they're not playing. Simple.
Yeah, I get that point, man.
So that's my point anyway.
No, I totally get that, man. I just think maybe 1 or 2 in the January transfer window just to kind of shore up 1 or 2 spots. Like they don't have to be massive players. Like even if they're just very, very capable, kind of top level championship players, just to kind of see us through until we get our main stalwarts back in certain areas. Like I'm not saying splash fucking billions on 2 players. Like,
do you know what I'd do? Loftus-Cheek on loan and Berardi on a free. The end of the
I'd
season.
love it if Berardi fucking came back.
Done. There's January done.
I'd love Berardi back, man.
You heard it here first, podcast fans. Berardi on a free, Loftus-Cheek on loan to the end of the season. That's our January done. Get it done, get it wrapped up nice and early, and we've got pretty much every position covered. Berardi can play all across the back, as we know. Loftus-Cheek can play all across midfield. Done. There you go.
Well, apparently, spot on, Adam.
Thank you, my friend.
I couldn't let the pod end without giving Adam a bit of an old, self-confidence.
I hope that was about Berardi and Loftus-Cheek and not about all the players in the squad, not about Adama Traore.
I'd imagine it was more about the Berardi thing.
but that's it. There you go.
Some loan from Man City. All right. So look, thanks for joining us anyway. It's been emotional as normal. Adam, I'm sure I'll see you on here probably again next week.
Probably.
Oh, maybe. But just keep an eye out for any further podcasts coming out from the Berardi and Cork crew. There should be a main podcast coming up maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. And look, from myself and Adam, we'll catch you on the flip side. Have a good evening or a good day. It's 12 o'clock.
Good day.
Oh, Jesus, right. Yeah, we've done it early. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Ta-ra, guys.